Hey guys, welcome back to Ghost Trick. It's TJ Gamer Girl signing on. So, last episode, we did chapter 11, where we found Camilla was kidnapped instead of the minister's daughter, and turns out she is Jowd's daughter. She was the one who accidentally killed her mother with the Rue Gaber's machine, trying to surprise her with a happy birthday. But it ended up shooting her instead, because the gun in the frame. And turns out the one the guy calls a beauty can sense my presence. So I'm gonna believe her on her threat that if she senses us again, Camilla's gonna be a dead girl. Looks like the kidnappers made a big mistake. The girl in the trunk was Detective Jowd's daughter, Camilla, not the minister's daughter. When I got back to the Justice Minister's office, things were getting even more out of hand. A devastated man was being grilled by the fiery detective lady. I told Lynn what I had found out about the kidnapping. That it wasn't the Justice Minister's daughter who had been abducted. That the kidnappers had been holed up at Camilla's old house. And that they sensed my presence and were already gone. But Camilla? Why do they have Camilla? Her father isn't the stupid old Justice Minister. I think the stupid old part is a little uncalled for. Looks like the kidnappers have made a mistake somehow. Poor girl. Kidnapped for the ransom of her own father's execution. It's just too much. It's a cruel twist of fate, I agree. And then there are those other twists too. Like the kidnappers winding up and using Camilla's old house as their hideout. There's no way it could just be a coincidence. And them sensing my presence. They seem to know about the powers of the dead. I just don't understand any of it. I told you before, Detective. I want you to stand back. Who cares about distance at a time like this? Look, Mr. Minister, it wasn't your daughter that was kidnapped. Don't try to pretend you didn't hear what we were saying. How can I believe in you? I'm a realist! Please! If you don't want to believe what we say, just see for yourself. Call home and... I tried calling 100 times. My wife won't answer. She won't? It's complicated. Well, why does life have to be such a complicated thing? But if she doesn't answer, doesn't that mean everything's normal? That doesn't prove it! And I'm being watched. I can't have the police go check for me. Besides, if the execution isn't carried out tonight, the hostage will be killed! What difference does it make that it's not my daughter? Whew! Hey, that's quite a pickle, Mr. Minister. Quite a pickle. Hello, Cabanella. Miss me, baby? Inspector Cabanella! I have a little report for you, Mr. Minister. That's a deep-ass bow. The escaped prisoner has been apprehended. I thought you might like to see him, so here he is. Detective Jowd! Detective Jowd, I'm so sorry. I tried. I know that you're innocent. I just can't prove it. I'm so sorry. Lynn, please don't apologize to me. The beautiful love between the teacher and student brings a tear to my eye. Damn, I can't reach him. You knew, didn't you, Inspector Cabanela, that the execution was tonight? I don't believe I had any obligation to tell you. And you're fine with this? I mean, you know as well as I do. Detective Zhao could never have done such a thing. Oh, come on now, baby. I know no such thing. Huh? I know two things to be true, and only two things only. One, he was given the death penalty, and two, he tried to escape. What else could I do but haul him in, baby? If that's the case, why did you bring him here? Whatever do you mean, young lady? He escaped from prison, right? So why didn't you just take him back to the prison? I think you only brought him here to brag about your accomplishment. Isn't that right, Inspector? For your own selfish reasons. So, were all those rumors about you true? That the only thing you care about is a spotless record? Is that more important than saving a friend? Everybody has certain principles they can't go back on, including me. You'll understand that someday, baby. That's enough, Lynn. But Detective Jowd! I'm a death row inmate who escaped from prison. This is how it should be. But... So, Mr. Ghost, we meet again. I hear something happened. Something about a kidnapping. Some kidnappers are saying they abducted the Justice Manager's daughter. That's terrible. What's their demand? The carrying out of your execution. Tonight. I had no idea I was so hated. But the Minister doesn't have to worry. I die and it's all over. Very simple. It's not that simple! Why not? Because it isn't really the Minister's daughter who got kidnapped. It's Camilla. What? Camilla? I checked it out for myself. I'm positive. No, it can't be. And by the way, Camilla told me something interesting. She said the one who killed her mother 5 years ago was Camilla herself. What? What are you talking about? Don't listen to him. I'm the one who shot her. I'm the one who shot Alma. And when I'm executed tonight, that will be the end of it. Camilla won't have to suffer anymore after tonight. For a capable detective, you say some incredibly misguided things. You dying isn't going to end the girl's suffering. It'll just bring her new suffering. The only person paying this execution is going to ease is yours. Is that true? What Camilla said? Why don't you tell us what you know? To be honest, I still don't understand what happened that day. It was my wife's almost birthday. We came home from work, and she went in first. I looked for the shooter, but there was nobody to be found. There was nobody besides Alma and Camilla, just the two of them. So the lady's mother died right in front of her. Why? It's so horrible! It was an accident! Camilla told me about it. She was crying. She said the contraption she made did something it wasn't supposed to. Made an impossible move. Impossible move. Camilla was a quiet little girl, but she was good with her hands. She was a little genius at making elaborate toys and contraptions. But there were two very strange points about that contraption. The first was, of course, the firing of that gun. Right. That was an antique gun I'd had on display for years. So it wasn't part of the little lady's original design. Of course it wasn't! It was supposed to be a surprise for her mother's birthday! And the other strange point was the movement of that Cupid. Cupid? Was supposed to fire, to just turn and fire at the... It was supposed to shoot its arrow without turning around. Somebody made a change to the contraption's design and then manipulated it. I don't know what to say. I didn't have time to think things through then. All I knew was I had to protect Camilla. I made a small adjustment to the scene and turned myself in. What kind of adjustment? The gun, of course. Gun, huh? Come to think of it. There was no gun, just a picture hanging on the wall. Of course not, because I secretly switched the gun out of that frame with the picture. I didn't believe what she told me about her contraption, but one thing was for certain. That gun was still smoking. So the gun really did shoot Alma! I hid the gun before I went to the police. You hid it? I put it in a wooden box and gave it to a certain detective. What? You mean... And that detective still thinks it's a music box. So that's what was in the box, huh? I got a different murder weapon ready to give to the police. My own pistol. And I did a few other things to make it look good. I won't go into details. When I was all done, I turned myself in. It's been 5 years since then. I stopped thinking about it. I shot Alma. There was no other explanation. That's what I convinced everyone. Even me. But tonight you showed up and gave me an explanation I never would have thought of before. Powers of the dead, right? That day in that room, powers that I didn't understand were at work. And, if that's the case, it clears up all the mysteries. Maybe not all. There are a couple of other people who know about these powers. Somebody there? Can you hear me? I can sense your presence, you know. The kidnappers who abducted Camilla knew about those powers. This is no ordinary kidnapping. It looks like my wife's case isn't coming to an end after all. I'm the only one who thought it was. Detective Jowd! There's still time before dawn. A little anyway. How about you see this case through to the end before you die? Detective Jowd, is what you told us just now true? Yes, of course. In that case, there's still time. Still time. Time to solve that case that started 5 years ago. You didn't do it, Detective Jowd. And of course, little Camilla didn't do it either. So the true perpetrator is still out there, and I'm going to prove it. For Camilla's sake. That sounds wonderful. Thank you, Detective Jowd. Lynn, where is that music box now? In Temsick Park. Camilla left it there. That gun is important evidence. You better go pick it up. Yes, sir! I'll go right now. Sissel, take care of Detective Jowd. And do something about the kidnapping so we can get the minister on our side. And yet again, I say easy enough for you to say. What's going on? Deal me the deal, Mr. Death Row inmate. A little change of plans. My daughter's been kidnapped. I can't just go off to die without doing something. But you're in our custody, don't forget. Back to the prison. Everybody's waiting for you, with a special seat just for you, baby. Then I guess we would prove my innocence on the double. On the double, is it? You sound so determined, my old friend. I want to save Camilla, in more ways than one. And that's all there is to it. I see, my old friend. In more ways than one. What say you, Mr. Minister? Or may we have your decision? Should the execution be carried out tonight, as planned? Or should we hold off and wait for this important evidence to come in? The order still stands. Bring the prisoner back immediately, resume its enforcement. As you wish, Your Excellency. Please, don't bow down to me. And especially not that low. In that case, can I have one of your boys arrange a prison van to pick him up? Would you be so kind? Yes, sir. The van should take about 10 minutes, I'm guessing. Your escape tonight was brilliant. Would you show me another miracle in these last few minutes of yours, Mr. Death Row inmate? Glad to see Detective Jowd all fired up now, but I feel like I'm under the gun here. Even if Lynn does come through with the proof of Jowd's innocence, it'll be meaningless or if Jowd or Camilla dies. Gotta do something about that kidnapping somehow. Most likely the minister won't stop the execution. Not as long as there is any small chance his daughter is the one who was kidnapped. But she isn't the one, I'm sure of it. Well, it'd be great if we could prove that to the minister. Prove it how? I doubt his wife is ever gonna answer that phone if we call from here. If we call from here. But... right, what I was thinking. Mr. Ghost, I have to admit I don't like depending on others. But you're the only one who can change the situation. Gee, detective. For the past 5 years, Camilla is the only thing that kept me going. I can't go meekly to the chair now. I hate to ask this, but would you mind saving me? I'll try. Key to getting... His daughter... really wanted to talk to him. Just as I thought. This little girl is safe in her bed. Murder, execution, jailbreak, betrayal, now kidnapping. This last link in this long chain of a sad fate lit a fire in Jowd's heart. And the chance to turn it all right around is in this room. I'm getting a strange premonition. Everything that happened so far tonight is related back to me in some way. And I bet this mistaken written abduction does too. Chapter 12 was kinda short in comparison. Oh. I'll end the episode here. Next episode, we'll do chapter 13. Till then, this is the Gamer Girl, signing off. Bye-bye.